Hello everyone, welcome to Home English Network. Today we'll talk about how to use could, would and should in real English conversations. Learning English grammar is not only about memorizing rules. The real goal is to use grammar naturally when you speak. 3 very common words that can make your English sound more fluent and polite are could, would, and should. These words are called modal verbs. We use them to talk about possibilities, requests, advice, preferences, expectations, and imaginary situations. You will hear them every day in real English conversations. In this lesson, we will learn how to use could, would, and should with simple explanations and realistic examples. 1. How to use could. We commonly use could in 3 important ways: for polite requests, possibilities, and past ability. Could for polite requests. Could is often used when you want to ask someone to do something politely. For example, could you help me with this? Could you open the window, please? Could you speak a little more slowly? Could you send me the information? Compare. Open the door. This sounds like a direct command. Could you open the door, please? This sounds much more polite and friendly. In everyday conversations, could is especially useful when speaking to someone you do not know well or when you want to sound respectful. Real conversation. A. Excuse me, could you tell me where the station is? B. Sure, it's about 5 minutes from here. A. Thank you. B. You're welcome. Here, could you tell me, is a polite way to ask for information. Could for possibility. We also use could when something is possible. For example, it could rain tonight. She could be at home. This could be a good opportunity. We could miss the bus if we don't leave now. Notice that could does not mean something will definitely happen. It means there is a possibility. For example, John could come tomorrow. This means it is possible that John will come, but we are not certain. Could for past ability. Could can also describe an ability someone had in the past. For example, when I was young, I could run very fast. She could speak English when she was 6. My grandfather could swim very well. Here, could means was able to. However, when talking about one specific successful action in the past, we often use was able to. For example, after several attempts, I was able to open the door. 2. How to use would. Would is another extremely common word in natural English. We use it for polite offers, requests, preferences, and imaginary situations. Would for polite offers. Would you like is one of the most useful English expressions. For example, would you like some coffee? Would you like to join us? Would you like something to eat? Would you like some water? This expression is very common in restaurants, hotels, shops, offices, and everyday conversations. Real conversation. Waiter, would you like something to drink? Customer, yes, please. I'd like a glass of water. Waiter, would you like anything to eat? Customer, yes, I'll have a chicken sandwich, please. This is natural, polite English. Would for preferences. We often use would rather to talk about what we prefer. For example, I would rather stay home tonight. I'd rather drink tea than coffee. She'd rather walk than take a taxi. I'd is the short form of I would. So, I would rather stay home becomes I'd rather stay home. Both are correct. Would for imaginary situations. Would is also important when we talk about imaginary or hypothetical situations. For example, I would travel around the world if I had enough money. I would buy a new car if I won the lottery. She would help you if she were here. These sentences describe situations that are not currently real or certain. A very common structure is if plus past tense, would plus base verb. For example, if I had more free time, I would learn Spanish. If I lived in London, I would visit the museums every weekend. If I were you, I would talk to your teacher. The last example is especially useful because it gives advice. If I were you, I would. For example, if I were you, I would practice English every day. 3. How to use should. Should is most commonly used for advice, recommendations, expectations, and mild obligations. Should for advice. When you want to tell someone what you think is a good idea, use should. For example, you should practice English every day. You should get some rest. You should talk to your manager. You should drink more water. You should watch English videos to improve your listening. Should sounds softer than must. Compare. You must finish this today. This sounds strong and strict. You should finish this today. This sounds more like advice or a recommendation. Real conversation. A. I'm really tired these days. B. You should get more sleep. A. I know, I've been staying up late. B. You should try going to bed earlier. A. That's a good idea. This is a very natural use of should. Should for expectations. We can also use should when we expect something to happen. For example, the bus should arrive soon. She should be here by 6. The package should arrive tomorrow. The meeting should finish before noon. Here, should means, I expect this to happen. It does not mean that we are completely certain. 4. Could, would, and should in one conversation. Now let's see how all three words can appear naturally in the same conversation. Ali, I'm thinking about improving my English. Sarah, you should practice speaking every day. Ali, that's true. Could you practice with me sometimes? Sarah, of course. We could practice for 20 minutes every evening. Ali, that would be great. Sarah, would you like to start tonight? Ali, sure, that sounds good. Look at the different meanings. Should practice equals advice. Could you practice with me? Equals polite request. We could practice equals possibility or suggestion. That would be great equals natural response expressing what the result would be. Would you like equals polite offer or invitation. This is how native speakers use these words naturally. 5. Common mistakes to avoid. One common mistake is adding to after a modal verb. Do not say, I could to help you. Say, I could help you. Do not say, you should to study. Say, you should study. Do not say, I would to go. Say, I would go. After could, would, and should, use the base form of the verb. Correct. Could go, would help, should study, could speak, would like, should practice. Another common mistake is using should when you actually mean a strong obligation. If something is necessary or required, must may be better. For example, you must show your passport at the airport. This means it is required. You should bring your passport. This is advice. 6. Easy formula to remember. You can remember the basic patterns like this. Could plus base verb. Could you help me? I could go tomorrow. She could speak English. Would plus base verb. I would help you. Would you like some tea? I would rather stay home. Should plus base verb. You should study. We should leave now. He should be here soon. These simple structures will help you create hundreds of sentences. 7. Practice with real-life situations. Imagine you are at a restaurant. You can say, could I have the menu, please? Could I get some water? Would you like anything else? I would like a chicken sandwich. You should try the soup. It's delicious. Now imagine you are talking to a friend. You should take a break. Could you call me later? We could watch a movie tonight. Would you like to come with us? These are practical sentences that you can start using immediately. Final practice. Let's quickly review. Use could when you want to make a polite request, talk about possibility, or describe past ability. Could you help me? It could rain later. I could swim when I was young. Use would for polite offers, preferences, and imaginary situations. Would you like some tea? I'd rather stay home. I would travel if I had enough money. Use should for advice, recommendations, and expectations. You should practice every day. You should talk to her. The train should arrive soon. The most important thing is not simply to memorize these rules. Try to use these words while speaking English every day. When you want to make a polite request, think could. When you want to make an offer, express a preference, or talk about an imaginary situation, think would. When you want to give advice or talk about what you expect, think should. With regular practice, these three words will become a natural part of your English. Start with simple sentences, practice them aloud, and then use them in your daily conversations. Remember, could equals polite request possibility past ability. Would equals polite offer preference imaginary situation. Should equals advice recommendation expectation. Practice these three words every day, and your English conversations will become more natural, polite, and confident.